back to the show. Formula Drift Round 2 finished off in Atlanta last weekend, and even though it started raining halfway through the event, it was still pretty exciting. If you want to watch the whole thing, go to the Formula Drift YouTube channel, but I'm going to cover the most exciting parts. If you like this video, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. With that being said, let's get into it. Before I go through Pro, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Kelsey Rawlings and ProSpec, who probably took one of the hardest hits this weekend. She got pushed right into the wall, and unfortunately she was not able to get her car back together to continue into the top 16. During the seeding 16, I don't know how the judges were judging where they wanted the cars, because every time I thought it would go one way, it went the other. An example of this would be TLO versus Haley, where I thought TLO had it, and then he lost.
Like, dude, the elevation, you don't see how violent it is. Here we go, TLO, Tommy Lemaire, Andy Haley. TLO initiates in that first inside clip. That Corvette looking good, the XPN Corvette coming in. Andy Haley maybe giving himself too much room here as TLO, Tommy Lemaire, comes into that third outside zone, now into the inside clip. Haley just lurking in that smoky shadow. He dives on in that Evil Auto Works BMW, Evil Auto Works, Redlands, California, coming on through and through that last outside zone. All right, Andy Lovely needs to become real Andy Haley with the Evil Auto Works. BMW throws it in. Ooh, some wobble there from TLO in that chase position. Andy Haley, there you go, talking about that inside clip. Both of them diving on the inside. Want to see that management of the vehicle. Look at Haley. So now with that clean air, it looks like he's really being more aggressive on that inside clip through the horseshoe. Now exiting out, hits that mark, literally ticks the boxes. Now comes back, navigates past that inside clip. That's, again, both of them tight. I don't know if they got the memo. We need you to...
Then there was Mata and Burkett, who, again, I thought there was both good driving, and the judges straight up said they both did a horrible job.
All right, here we go. Austin Mata, Dan Burkett, Rad Dan, and Austin coming down the hill. There we go, initiating that first outside zone. There's that inside clip number one. Both these guys getting too close. They're going kind of back and defaulting back to yesteryear when the pressure cooker is on. All right, there goes Austin, really riding the edge. Good execution there. That's what we want to see right there. Dan Burkett, of course, beautiful looking Mark IV Supra. He needs to mimic that angle though. Diving in, great proximity, but that overhead camera, so there they are again. All right, Dan Burkett, I'll get to that in a moment, but Dan Burkett initiating Rad Industries, Mark IV Supra. Wow, Austin really getting buried in the smoke. Ripping up into outside zone 2, now into outside zone 3. Austin just back there quite a bit. And this is what you're talking about, that opportunity for that chase car. Dan is putting the car in the right places. These guys are really having a hard time with the inside clip there. Fights for it. Austin gets the win unanimously. Would love the headset to be thrown on one of the judges. Vernon Reese, looks like Reese goes for it. Reese, elaborate, player. It was unanimous.
Yeah, it was unanimous. I definitely want to clarify, both drivers did a horrible job with their inner clips.
And O'Sully and Jack Shanahan. I thought O'Sully was sloppy, and then he won.
All right, Jack Shanahan up front. Nice little feint there, big e-brake, but then gets on the throttle nice and early and just pulls. I mean, he used all the track, and O'Sullivan goes off-roading, but very aggressive. Listen, you got Jack Shanahan up front, you have to run an aggressive chase. That's what we see out of O'Sullivan through this whole thing. And Jack Shanahan out front, I mean, leading really well. I mean, all the zones look good, a little bit shallow to that section, but Connor O'Sullivan, just aggressive, very aggressive. I'm looking at Reese's body language tonight. He's very expressive. So, out front, Connor O'Sullivan, good job to the first outside zone, but the inside clip just way too tight, comes off it too early. Now, Jack does a good job of adapting to our second outside zone and into our third outside zone, really reeling him in. Now, right through here, Connor gets almost too much angle. Jack has to cut the line because of the arc that Connor was at, get back into the pocket. They transition back out. That part looked good there, so.
Besides that and seating, there was just a couple bumps and spins and a cool tire fire from Daigo Saito.
Whoa! Literal, what is happening? You gotta think that it is kind of getting scrubbed away too. Look at Junior applying the pressure. There's a tire fire from Daigo Saito.
Moving into the top 32, the drivers were battling patchy conditions. This might have been a factor for Hobson hitting Olsen.
That Ben Hobson uses all the course, initiates, we walk into that first outside zone, tightens the inside clip. Now see that box on the track, that's where we want to see that front right, and it becomes the inside clip number 3. Ben Hobson, great side bite, coming into outside zone 3. That was perfect, really well executed. Right on again, there's the flowgram as they exit out of the keyhole, getting into that, you can see a little bump there, and now transitioning into what was the first inside clip is now the last inside clip. Here we go, Simon Olsen out front, initiating that first outside zone. Good fluid line, like you said, just threw it right in there. Ben Hobson, like you said, had that in a reservation, a little hesitation now. Dialing in, here goes Seaman into that third outside zone. Ben Hobson diving in, aggressive on the line. Contact was made tire on tire.
Forsberg went against Jack Shanahan, and on initiation, Jack gripped up and sent his car off track and into the wall.
And Shanahan chasing down the BMW, the strong wheels, going around. Forsberg down the hill, initiating. Whoa! Shanahan long way! And Shanahan goes into the wall.
Vaughn faced Dean, who this was the same track they faced each other last year.
He is not just going to hand it to him. There are no team orders. Knowing Vaughn and knowing James Dean as some mud is being thrown up. James Dean comes and swings wide on that inside clip. Look at Vaughn twisting the screws on James Dean, the 4-time champion and defending champion. James Dean brings it all the way out. They know what each driver is capable of. They know the car setup. They know what to expect, and now they're putting on a show for you. Come on now, send it, baby. RTR, Ford Mustangs, here at Road Atlanta. What a big jump here. Vonkin Jr. out front, tip the tail. Yes, sir, big angle there. Vonkin Jr. goes in tight on the inside clip, now transitioning, pulling that front right off the ground. The RTR, the Nitto tires on the corners into that third outside zone, and here we are once again. Boom, Vonkin Jr. hits that inside clip. James, he narrowly lets him pass. He lets him on through, but James back to the side of the other Ford Mustang, bringing it on home. Let him know you're here.
LZ and Sharifo had an exciting double pass battle where Sharifo off-roaded and LZ passed him, and then for some reason Sharifo decided to pass LZ back.
Both the drivers have some areas of improvement, but overall they kept it between the lines. Here goes Federico Sharifo. He wraps it around the inside clip. Again, that's not where you want to be. Throw some more angle at it. Look at that right there. Oh. That is gonna, yeah, that's gonna be all she wrote. So Adam LZ, he passes.
We're gonna double pass.
Okay, we got it. Federico. This is ridiculous.
Okay. Fede just not able to get out to the zones, gets too deep there on 3, goes off-roading. Adam LZ goes, okay, this is a safe place to pass.
Hold that marinara.
Transition in the keyhole. As they come through here, Fede's like, nope, I'm in the lead. And then, you know what, Adam, great job. Dives back, you know, goes, all right, you want to finish this way? Let's go.
All right, style points? Dude.
Hurst and O'Sully both ended up sending their cars off the track.
Let's party.
So Jonathan Hurst, Big Bang Thing, Castro, the windshield wipers are on. Lorette just texted me, she said it's raining at the top of the hill. So that's what's crazy. Here we go into wet conditions. Hurst slides on in, he saves it. So no practice, and Hurst goes right for it. Oh yeah, oh no, here we go. Dylan the Dozer Hughes coming in the first outside zone. Oh, Foley goes off the United States Army BMW. Gets Squirrely Dan here.
And Turk slides right past Literal on the chase.
There we go. Ryan Little out front. Ryan Turk in the chase position. Look how slick it is even off the start line. This is going to be very interesting here. This is a lot of luck here, to be honest. Very talented drivers, a lot of horsepower. And here comes Ryan Literal. He airs it out. Ryan Turk almost goes off course, and both of them salvaging a bit of a run here. Ryan Literal comes to a halt. Turk goes on.
It started raining pretty good going to the top 16, so things started to slow down a bit. Forsberg off-roaded his car leading against Manoa.
Now here we go. A 3-time champion, Chris Forsberg versus 15 years old Hiro Manoa from Japan. Chris Forsberg probably more turns than anybody in this bracket, but he goes off course. He slides his way into the kitty litter, throwing off Hiro Manoa. You can see the rain is coming down. You can see the raindrops. Unfortunately, with all the extra moves, the rain got the better half of Chris Forsberg.
Rome Charpentier hit Sorensen in his chase.
Here comes Brandon Sorensen. What approach is he going to take? Looks like he takes a tempered approach, flirts with that rumble strip, he slides his way into inside clip, back on throttle. So He just saw what Forsberg did, a couple rounds ago or a couple battles ago. And now here comes Brandon Sorensen up the hill, filling outside zone 2, approaching outside zone 3, so you can see the drive prowess here. The wheel speed is picking up. That allowed Rome Sharpens here. He didn't get all the way outside zone 3. He does have proximity, so this is all about car control. Keeping it, and just with that bounce, it looks like RCP bounces off it, gets in the dirt, gets in the dust.
Adam LZ barely holds on during his entry and ends up almost doing a backy.
We know he is absolutely built for greatness, and Jonathan Castro, he knows how to drive in the wet as well. Dominican. Oh boy, Adam LZ. What? Massive angle, holds on, it snaps back. Castro actually, I felt like Castro was like kind and opened the door for him and said, "Here you go, sir," and let him go on by. That could have been very hairy and scary coming out through the keyhole on that inside clip. Adam LZ has had some insane battles earlier. If you were watching with Federico Sharifo, roll that tape if you haven't seen it. Him against a Ferrari earlier on in 32, and here comes Adam LZ back up the hill.
In the top 8, Turk hit Castro on initiation.
Castro, run 2, initiates. You see him lock it up and tip the tail. We saw contact there from Castro. Turk gets in the back of Jonathan Castro.
Then in the top 4, Castro spun out against Dean.
Former Drift history, James Dean across the nose of the Toyota GR86. James Dean fills all of that first outside zone. He brings it in tight. Castro gives him a little bit of room. He didn't get to the outside zone. Now he comes in tight. Oh, big angle. And Castro spins. Castro comes to a halt. James Dean will continue on.
So in the final, we ended up with Dean versus Osbo, and both of these drivers are very good in wet conditions. Dean being used to the Irish rain and Osbo being used to the ice. It went to 2 one more times, and with a split decision in the end, Dean took the win.
Now they both know they got to be perfect.
Dialing it in, we saw how aggressive these guys are. This could be it. We have a one more time battle now that we are looking at James Dean out front, Frederick Osbo. Click the stamp and send it. Here we go. Return to sender. We'll see who gets top of the box. Will be the same order. Osbo won in Long Beach. He won here last year. Can he do it again? James Dean, again, notoriously great in the wet. Frederick Osbo likes the frozen rain. We're talking about ice racing. James Dean in that second outside zone, puts it in there, sticks that Ford Mustang in there, no problem. Mustang in a box, and the Toyota Supra nosing in great proximity. You can see them diving in on the inside. Now as they exit out of the keyhole, Frederick Osbo applying the pressure consistently, not having it dart in. He keeps the same measured approach, brings it around that last, and look at that transition, just narrowly escaped. That was really, really good.
Here are the current point standings for the top 5 drivers. As you can see, Dean and Forsberg are tied for first. It's going to be interesting to see them battle it out at Orlando, Florida at the next event on May 30th and 31st. Sorry if this video seems a little rushed. I really didn't have the time between work and getting myself out to the track and editing to put a little extra effort into it, but thank you anyways for watching, and I'll see you next time.